Guys, thank you so much for coming in here to see me at Body by Design. Okay, this video is singing the blues or actually depressed, because there is a defined difference, okay? We're all going to have down days. To think that you're going to actually walk through life and never have any sort of real bad lows or any sort of like bump in the road or obstacles to avoid is really a disillusion in itself. I mean, how would you ever know what happiness felt like? Or how would you ever know how great it is to be grateful if things haven't been bad? You know, you'll hear me say over and over and over again that it's not so much what happened, it's the story you tell after it, right? The story is either going to empower you and inspire others, or it's going to be poor me. You know, and that's what you see a lot in depression, is a lot of poor me. Especially at the workplace. You ever see the workplace when everybody has I have the shittiest life in the world story, and everybody trades stories about whose job's worse and whose life is shittier? You know, that's not a good place to be. You know, that is definitely, you know, anything that involves anybody sort of reaching out like that or consistently talking negative about themselves, when you try to compliment them, they downgrade it. This is definitely an issue. It's definitely a behavioral programming issue. And all this person is really doing is looking for some self-love. Okay, a lot of the times depression comes on from not having a very balanced life or good quality life, either at this moment in time, but chances are it's been a while, or you've been fighting it like myself since childhood, and it was just sort of things that snowballed year after year after year. And like most people, you know, you had to admit to yourself that there was an issue, and that you had to make a conscious plan to get it fixed, all right? Not just be like, well, I want to be happy, and that's it. Because at any point in time that you have an idea or a dream or a thought, if you don't put that down on paper with a plan, it's never going to happen. And I mean, if it does, it's sheer luck, okay? Once your idea has been written down on paper, it's now a goal. So that means it's now a measurable result. So that means you can break this down into sections and then just focus on one little section at a time, right? Because if we throw that one little pebble in the river and we do that every day, eventually we're going to build a dam, okay? Little steps. You're going to fall down, you're going to trip up, okay? So sadness. Sadness is when you get a little bit upset about something, you'll feel a little bit of grief from it, your energy will get a little bit low from it, but with sadness, in a bit of time, it's going to dissipate, and you're going to be able to go on about your life. Depression. Depression is something much more serious, especially to myself. I really don't think that there's enough light brought onto this subject, and I definitely think that the training being put out there to defend against this problem is complete and utter horse shit. Any of the people I've ever gone to see have been absolutely worthless. They weren't worth my money. They weren't worth government money. The schooling and the education that they got was shit. Okay? I'm sorry. I've gotten more from getting healthy with personal trainers than I did with any of them, and when I actually learned on what to study. Okay? What to learn and how to do it. Okay? You heard me mention in the last video, the Dummies series of everything rocks. Okay? You can't go wrong with them. Now, you might not agree with everything they're saying, but at least if you agree with some of it and you can apply it to your life and it makes your life even 1% better, it's worth the read, okay? Anxiety for Dummies. There's a 1 and 2 series of that if you can get to both of them. There's Depression for Dummies. That one was really good. Cognitive behavioral therapy was really good. Behavioral therapy was really good. Interpersonal and relationships was really good. Neurolinguistics programming was really good. But if you were to start anywheres and any 2 books, I would suggest to pick up the Dummies Depression and I would pick up the NLP for Dummies. Okay, those are the two books that you're probably going to get your fastest results from. But if you got the time, I suggest you find the time and the energy and the bit of extra money it would cost to pick up these few books and actually put a bit of homework into them. I'm guaranteeing by the time you're done the first one, you're going to feel better. I guarantee by the time you're done the second book, which might take you a few months to get through them on top of work and working out and everything else, it might take you a few months. Who cares? But by the time you're done, you're good. Okay? I take a lot of the key points out from a lot of these books, and this is what you're going to be seeing here in these videos. So please, anything that I say that really makes sense to you, get it, keep it, and put it to work. Okay? So, like we said, depression is going to be leaving you feeling hopeless, faithless. You know, I like to measure it on a 1 to 10 scale. I do it with every client, regardless if they are depressed or not. I like to measure how they're feeling on a consistent basis, and I do this with myself. So every morning I get up and I measure how I feel from 1 to 10. 1 being I want to kill myself, 10 being I'm going to jump up and dance, okay? And at the end of every week, at the end of every month, I review these and see, how I was feeling, why I was feeling it, how my workouts went, because I chart everything. Whether I was extra hungry that day, like I really chart this stuff down, and it really, really helps. If you start to track how your moods are, when they're like that, you'll be able to find a pattern. And once you can find the pattern, then you can start to break it down, okay? So, those are some good books to read. This is sort of a breakdown between sadness and depression and the difference and how to sort of measure whether or not you're feeling. If you're looking at this right now and you're saying, like, I'm a consistent 9, 10 and I'm always thinking about suicidal thoughts or killing myself, by all means, this is more common than you think. And I don't want to make it sound trivial, because it is not trivial, and it is clearly serious issue, okay? And I want you to reach out for some help. If I'm not anywhere near you, or even if I am near you and you're consistently feeling this and you're not sure where to go, don't be afraid to shoot me a message. I've got Facebook underneath Josh Wheeler. I've got a business page underneath Body by Design, Personal Training and Peak Performance. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can message me here. I've got a LinkedIn account. I've got a Twitter account underneath Body by Design. Don't sit there in the dark. Don't be sitting there and feeling hopeless and feeling lost, like there's no way out, and every time you watch one of these videos you think we're an idiot. Okay, I know how bad it can be, and I know how dark it can be, but I can promise you that if you scratch up, a little bit of courage, okay, willing to put in, as my coach told me last year, give me 30 days. You give me 30 days, and I guarantee the thoughts you're thinking now will not be the same. Okay? I promise. If you don't know where to go or what to do, I will help you. You know where to contact me. Again, this is going a little bit longer than I planned. This is Josh from Body by Design, being personal proof and speaking from the heart. It is never too late to live the life you could have lived. Let's start now. Alright guys, I hope you tune in for my next video.